That is a really cool art. The rise of the fell flower.
Guess what? Paimon's story is finished. Let's go see Albedo again.
About that cutscene, is it that I think it's Albedo talking as if he is the whopper flower where he as an abandoned project, he would want to replicate someone that that succeed.
Traveler, Paimon.
And then what he would do is to get rid of anyone that knew the previous you, quote unquote, secret, so that you could stay being you, quote unquote. I think that makes sense.
I suppose your story is ready.
Yep. How about you? Do you need some more time?
No need. I am also ready to tell my story.
Paimon calls dibs. Paimon first!
Please, go ahead.
Okay, here goes. Once upon a time, there was an evil researcher who went into the mountains and did a crazy experiment on whopper flowers to transform their appearance. After a lot of pain and suffering, the whopper flowers finally took on a human form. Then they stood by the side of the mountain to wait for unsuspecting bypassers. To whoever spoke to them, they would ask some questions such as, "Who am I? Who are you?" If the bypasser got the wrong answer, the last sound they'd make would be a yelp before the whopper flower ate them alive in one bite.
Sounds like much more to a horror story. But yeah, I've heard that same trope.
Oh, truly frightening.
Yes, Paimon is truly frightening.
What the? You two aren't scared at all!
Maybe I'm just really tough. I don't know. Nice, because I've heard that, kinda plot structure in many different horror stories. So yeah.
Don't go nitpicking, okay? If you didn't like the story, go write your own.
Cool. In that case, I would add some horror elements in. After the whopper flower eats someone, they would turn into that person. It's the recent anime To Your Eternity, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of similar to that. If the traveler wanted to add this kind of story.
In other words, the whopper flowers would ambush and then completely replace their victims.
And then adopt their newfound identity.
And then what? Go back to where the person lives? Enter their home? Eat their whole family? Ah!
Isn't this also similar to the Bake Tanuki, if I'm not mistaken, from the Inazuma, where they would, turn into someone else? I haven't done the free quest myself about the Inazuman who comes into Lie, and when we met her family in Inazuma, that person is also there. Turns out it's a Bake Tanuki that replaced her position in her family. Yeah, it's also similar to that.
Paimon made up this story, but now Paimon's the one who's scared by it.
Well, I said I haven't done the free quests, but yeah, what I just said just referred to some, tidbits that I've read in social media about Genshin Impact, so yeah.
It's a good story. May I write it down? I may bring it up in future conversations.
Noting down conversation topics.
What for? Just to scare people with?
Just to talk to other people with.
Yes.
You've got a real mean streak, Albedo.
So, what's your story?
Mine is a little longer than yours. It starts with an alchemist. A great alchemist once created Subject 1. Subject 1 was her proudest achievement, and successfully blended into human society. No one ever would have thought that this friend of theirs was in fact a synthetic human. However, unbeknownst to Subject 1, the alchemist had tried the same experiment many times before he had come into being. Some of the rejects from failed experiments had been discarded, but had not died. Subject 2 was one such failed experiment. He was swallowed by a great dragon that came to rest upon a snow-swept mountain. Many years later, he was resurrected by the dragon's mysterious power.
During the earlier cutscene, Albedo also said that he rested in the dragon's belly and then resurrected. Could there be two Albedos? But I don't know.
He saw all kinds of people on the mountain, including Subject 1, who had somehow miraculously blended in among them. Never in Subject 2's wildest imagination had he thought it possible for experimental life forms such as they to deceive everyone so successfully. He saw the way humans accepted Subject 1 as a friend, witnessed their affection as they addressed him by name. This was what Subject 2 wanted. Now, all that Subject 2 desired was to replace Subject 1 and take the joy of his existence for himself.
Okay, now I understand. So that the Subject 1 in this story refers to Albedo himself as a successful experiment of the primordial human experiment, if I'm not mistaken. That's what the experiment called during the cutscene. And this Subject 2 was the Whopper flower. So that means the Rheindoter or gold create Albedo based on Whopper flower. It could be, or at least that's what the Subject 2 based in. So Rheindoter experimented with a Whopper flower in order to create a new life, or not a kind of new life, but a new identity, a new person. But that experiment failed, so Rheindoter discarded Subject 2. Now that it is discarded, but it had not died. Now Subject 1 appears, and he is the successful experiments. And Subject 2 seeing the Subject 1, basically seeing them as the same individuals, not the same individuals, but both of them are fake, not a real being, but rather than a real being, both of them are man-made one. Okay, so the Subject 2 felt jealousy, so that's why Subject 2 wanted to take Subject 1 place, and then he also wanted to get rid of everyone that knew of Subject 1's secret, so that Subject 2 could be Subject 1 wholly. I think that makes sense. I think I'm kind of getting the story here. And take the joy of his existence for himself, right? Yeah.
This is giving Paimon the chills. So scary.
Sometimes real life is much scarier than the stories.
Subject 2 began to unfold his plan. He stole Subject 1's books and notes, and studied all that Subject 1 had learned from the alchemist.
I see.
Subject 2 was highly intelligent, and he learned quickly.
So yeah, if that were true, it doesn't make sense for a Whopper flower that originated in Dragonspine to mutate it and turn into Albedo. It doesn't make sense to steal the alchemist note because why would they? It's just a whopper flower. But if both of them were the same, have the same origins, I think that would make sense if Subject 2 would stole Albedo's note in order to fully become him, fully replace him.
He changed his face into an exact replica of Subject 1's face. Then, he found a plant with mimicry capabilities and transformed it using dragon blood and alchemy.
What? He changed his face into an exact replica of Subject 1's face, then he found a plant with mimicry capabilities and transformed it using dragon blood and alchemy. So, Subject 2 was not made with whopper flower? Let's continue the story. Come on.
And so, not only did Subject 2 transform his own appearance to perfectly match that of Subject 1, he also created a third entity, Subject 3.
What? There's 3 of them now?
But Subject 2 wanted to become a perfected human. So, he erased a mark on both his and Subject 3's necks. For these marks were symbols of imperfection.
He purposely erased it?
In my view, it was probably a subconscious act, an instinct. He so desperately craved to become a perfect human being that he forgot something. Human beings are defined by their flaws. Subject 2's plan was meticulously crafted. Subject 3 would draw Subject 1's attention. After Subject 1 disposed of Subject 3, he would assume the threat had now disappeared and would let his guard down. The next moment that Subject 1 was alone, Subject 2 would make his move. He would eliminate Subject 1 and become the only one remaining.
Got it. So Subject 1 and Subject 2, both of them have the same physical appearance. So technically, both of them were Albedo. The only difference that make two of them is that Subject 1 had a mark on his neck, while Subject 2 is the Albedo without, while Subject 3 is the whopper flower that turned into Albedo without the mark. Got it.
He would secretly replace the Subject 1 of everyone's memories and inherit his identity, residence, clothing, sword, name, and friends.
See, if that were his goal, it would make sense that Subject 2 would steal Subject 1's note.
People would have no idea that the individual they knew had become somebody else from one day to the next.
Yeah.
This is way too scary. Paimon's never gonna be able to trust anyone again.
Well, the good thing is Subject 2 objectives is to only replace Subject 1, so it would never try to replace someone else. Its only goal for now is only to replace Subject 1, so all you have to do is to be wary whenever you met Albedo. You can trust anyone else, but you may have to question some things if you were to meet Albedo, which is I think it's a good thing that we have to vary with one person only and not everyone else. I mean, it's going to be suck for Albedo, but at least the imposter did not copy his star or his star mark.
But just before Subject 2 could carry out his plan, a unique stranger entered the mix.
Yeah.
Subject 2 tried to make contact with this person, but found that they could somehow sense he was different from Subject 1. What's wrong? Are you scared?
No. I'm intrigued to know what's the next of the story.
What happened then? What happened to the stranger? stranger.
He became a new stage in Subject 2's plan. One more person that Subject 2 had to dispose of.
Yes, because if not, then Subject 2 could not fully replace Subject 1, because the memory of Subject 1 still applies to that stranger, in this case the traveler. Yeah.
It's as if there were 3 identical roses in the garden. Only one of the 3 was a fine specimen, while the other 2 were defective specimens that bore poisonous thorns. In all the world, only the gardener who tended to them could tell which was the good specimen. People do not like poisonous plants. Only a perfect rose can fetch a high price. If the inferior specimens wanted to conceal the fact of their worthlessness, they would have to take the gardener out of the picture, using their poisonous thorns.
Yes.
This is exactly what Subject 2 was thinking. So, he hid in the shadows and waited patiently. Maybe soon, he would get his chance to become truly human.
Yeah, this is not just a story. This is Albedo's story. These are real events. Albedo is trying to tell me the cruel and unbelievable truth.
That was intense! So what happened after that? Did Subject 2's plan succeed? Paimon can't bear thinking about it.
Fortunately, Meta is just a story. And even in this story, Subject 2 did not succeed. But you can never let your guard down on Dragonspine.
About the Subject 2 did not succeed, I think it refers to the cutscene earlier where Albedo took out his sword and went to take out the Subject number 2.
Monsters mutated with Durin's power and blood are also creatures of Rhine-Daughter, just like me. You must beware of all such creatures.
No, don't say that. You're not a monster. You're my friend.
I'm glad to hear that. It's okay. I know what I am. You and I are both different, so there is no need for me to hide the truth from you. The only thing is that sometimes, when I think about how mighty the power of alchemy is, I feel so small. As beings who set foot in this world, how arrogant are we in desiring to control our destiny, and in desiring to create? Is creation an arrogant act, Traveler? If not, why do we call the ones that created us and control us gods? If it is, then what qualifies us to call ourselves creators? How far must we take our reverence and respect, and what purpose does it serve?
Good question, but more importantly, how did you feel when you took out the imposter?
Nothing special, but whenever I think about it, I feel a twinge of grief.
Yeah, because when you also think about it, in a way, those 3 individuals, those 3 subject 1, 2, and 3, they were all came from the same origin, from the same mother, Rhine-Daughter. So in a way, all 3 of them, or maybe 4 of them plus Durin, they were all brothers. So yeah.
Poor Albedo.
Hello? Traveler, are you here?
Amber?
Hey, is that Amber?
Thought we might find you here. We're here to deliver a message from Cyrus. There's gonna be a big event down at the base camp, and they want you there too, Traveler.
Winter camp is nearing its end. Apparently, even provisional instructors are required to attend.
Looks like we need to go, Albedo. Bye for now.
Then I won't keep you. I have some things to attend to here, so forgive me for not seeing you down.
Don't worry about it. There have been no issues getting up and down the mountain recently.
Is everyone ready? Let's not keep them waiting.
Act 3, a secret born from ashes.
Go ahead. You're one of their instructors, no?
Alright, see you, Albedo.
Huh? Who is this guy?
Is he Joel's father? A gigantic version of Joel?
Allow me to introduce Yozerf. He's Joel's father.
Yosef?
Dad, this is that traveler I was telling you about. The traveler's helped me out loads in the past, and this time we even built a snowman together.
Joel has told me everything about you. I can't thank you enough.
I'm glad that you're okay and finally reunited with Joel.
Wow, this is amazing! Wait a second. Why is Cyrus discreetly wiping tears away? And what is Pallet doing here?
Pallet is the hero of the hour this time. Go on, Pallet. Tell us what happened in your own words.
Okay. The weather was fine on that fateful day, and I had a feeling that Lady Luck was smiling down on me. So I trusted my gut and set off to explore somewhere new, somewhere dangerous. Because where there is great danger, there is also great treasure.
Why does this sound so hard to believe?
Yeah.
But I had only been away from the group for a short while when I fell down a slope and just started rolling.
Uh-oh. Did my bad luck rub off on him when we ran into each other on the mountain?
Perhaps?
The place I fell to was somewhere I didn't recognize, and I'd sustained a few injuries. I remember thinking to myself, this is the worst luck I've ever had in my whole life. Then I met Yozerf. He'd heard the sound of me falling and came out to see what was going on.
Huh?
Wow, so it was completely by chance then.
I thought he must have been someone from the Adventurers Guild here for the event, but after a few words of conversation, it was clear that he was having memory problems. He didn't even know his own name. The temperature was freezing, and there was no time to deal with all that there and then, so I convinced him to come back to the camp with me and figure everything else out after we got there. We got back to the camp, ran into Joel, and the moment he saw him, he froze for a second with this completely stunned expression on his face, and then he started crying out, "Dad! Dad!" That's when Yozerf suddenly started to remember.
My memory has still not fully recovered, but Joel and his mother, they are the only ones that I will not, no, that I cannot forget.
Daddy.
Daddy's right here, Joel. Daddy's right here.
Oh, it's a good thing we met you. You know, last year in December, I went out looking for you. I even read your notes. So yeah, glad to see that finally Joel reunited with you again.
Yozerf, don't you remember anything else at all? The poor princess, feeding the foxes?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have no recollection. Maybe it's because of the head trauma. I'm not sure. I woke up and found myself covered in blood. My things were gone, and there was nothing to indicate who I was or how I got there. I crawled into a cave and settled in for a slow recovery. After my legs and feet were a little better, my hunting skills were what kept me alive.
Dad, I was so worried about you.
Yeah, you were gone for practically a year. At least in real time.
I'm all right now, Joel. Oh, don't cry. Daddy's not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
All's well that ends well.
You know what, though? I definitely think my luck got worse after running into Benin on that mountain.
I knew it. I just...
No. I just meant if it weren't for you, there's no way I ever would have run into Yozerf on a mountain this huge.
That's true. I think that's a good luck.
Besides, we got back safely, didn't we? So don't blame yourself. Maybe sometimes miracles can only happen when you get just unlucky enough.
Pallet. When did you become such a smooth talker, huh?
Huh? Am I? I was just telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. I want to say thank you to the Traveler, Uncle Cyrus, Auntie Eula, and Auntie Amber.
Auntie
Thanks,
Eula, Auntie
everyone.
Amber? Okay.
You all helped look after me, and I will always remember it. But I guess I can't take the snowman with me, or it'll melt once it leaves Dragonspine. It's such a shame.
Oh, I can help with that. One moment.
Huh? Eula?
Here, take this. It's powdered rime. Just add it to your snowman, and it will never melt.
Wow! Really? Oh, this is awesome! You're the best, Auntie Eula! Dad, I have an unmeltable snowman now! How cool is that?
How can I ever repay you all?
Don't mention it. We're all delighted for you.
Thank you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Dad, I want to go move the snowman. Can we do it now, please?
Okay. I'll be leaving with Joel now. I'm sure I'll see you all another day.
Very well, very well. It's time for Pallet and I to have another discussion concerning his breaches of adventurer discipline.
Straying off from his team.
Huh? But Cyrus, I think I kind of made up for my mistakes this time, you know?
See you guys.
Oh, I made this for you and Amber. Think of it as a winter souvenir.
Aw, are you sure? This must be really important to you.
Come on now, just take it. No need to make such a fuss.
Wow. Now our snowman won't melt either. Great.
Thank you, Eula. I'll treasure it.
You're welcome. Just keep it. That's all I ask. Amber and I have some business to attend to now. See you later.
See you.
There are two of them.
Everyone's
There goes
gone.
two of them again.
Seems like they've all got their own stuff to do now. Oh, you know what? We've been on Dragonspine all this time, and somehow Paimon still forgot to ask Albedo about how to make a fruit juicifier machine that can keep the juice fresh. Maybe we should try Timaeus again. He does seem pretty eager to please after all.
Alright. Forceful diplomacy. That's one way to see it.
Timaeus!
Traveler and Paimon, what can I do for you? Wait a minute. You've got that mischievous look on your face. Oh, you're not still thinking about that ridiculous juicer thing, are you?
Timaeus, will you help us?
There's no us in this situation, Paimon. I really have no stake in this either way.
Well, if the Traveler isn't really interested, then, yeah, maybe I'll give this one a pass. It's just the weirdest request ever.
No, but Paimon's Sunsettias are gonna go to waste without it.
And the time it would take me to research something like that, I could probably pick those Sunsettias again 10 times over.
New research project, Timaeus? We meet again.
Oh, Albedo, thank goodness. So the situation is, Paimon wants a machine that can turn fruit into juice and keep the juice fresh. I mean, surely it's...
Majorly important, that's what it is. If you can manage to invent this, we'll never have to worry about fruit going bad ever again.
That's impossible.
Oh. Wait, his neck?
Turning fruit into juice is not hard. but keeping it fresh is more difficult. But if you simply want to keep the fruit from rotting, there are many ways to achieve this. Right, Traveler?
What? What? Hold on. Your neck. The mark is back. Is this a prank?
What about his neck?
What's wrong? Is there something on my neck?
No, that's gotta be an imposter. There's no way Albedo would have this kind of looks. No, it's fine.
From the look on your face, it's as if you thought I just played a practical joke on you that was in exceedingly poor taste.
I mean, you could cover the scar with some makeup, so I guess... Is makeup already invented during this time period? So it was a prank.
Albedo, you were saying, how do you stop fruit from going bad?
Well, one way would be to bury your fruit on Dragonspine, where the snow never melts all year round.
But then Paimon won't be able to eat them!
Hold on, we got a whole array of characters that had some really cool eyeliner. So yeah, I think makeup were already invented during this time period.
You could always live on Dragonspine.
No, too cold for Paimon.
Or you can give the fruit to me, and I would take it to Dragonspine for you. But since you don't like the cold, you'd have to send someone else to pick them up when you want them. This is where you come in, Traveler.
Suddenly sounds a lot more feasible with other people doing all the work. Okay then, shall we go with that idea?
Fruit buried on Dragonspine will stay fresh for much longer. However, it is also possible that the fruit will sprout and grow into fruit trees. Who knows? Maybe the next time you visit, it will have grown into an orchard. You can water the trees, add fertilizer, and when they finally bear fruit, you will have some fresh Sunsettias.
No way! Then Paimon will have to be a gardener! That's not the goal here.
Oh? Well, I don't think being a gardener is so bad.
A gardener? I didn't expect Albedo to joke about this. Doesn't he care about what the marks means?
Albedo! Stop trying to get your hands on Paimon's super sweet Sunsettias!
It bothers you, does it?
Of course it bothers Paimon! They are the rarest, super duper sweetest Sunsettias ever! And they're not for you!
Okay, but they're just Sunsettias. I think you're only so attached to them because you don't have much fruit of this quality in your possession. When someone's pockets are full and their spirit is fulfilled, they don't easily fall prey to this kind of yearning.
Huh? Really?
I see. That makes a lot of sense. Secret born from ashes. Quest complete. Oh yeah, I already done the snowman, so yeah, I already got the sword.
Dragonspine is too cold for ordinary fruit trees to survive. But if, one day, Dragonspine did become home to gardens and orchards, there would be more reasons for people to visit. Perhaps a little life is the key to attracting people.
That's true.
Life may exist in all kinds of unfathomable forms, and in all manner of unthinkable environments. Mysterious, yet tenacious. Perhaps this is what makes life so special.
Right, about the Albedo pranking us, I think that's the real Albedo. You know. Maybe because he's that kind of lonely, lonely and lone wolf kind of guy where he wants to, you know, take off on his own and do his own little things up in the mountains. I think pranking the traveler is one of his few ways of having fun with other people, you know, especially after Albedo told the traveler about the story. I think
Ancient alchemy truly is
if I were Albedo, I would want to see the traveler's reaction seeing if the mark were the mark went gone and then it's back in an instant. And I think that's pretty easy to make with alchemy. So yeah, I think this is the real Albedo. The real subject 2 and 3 were already gone,
Ancient alchemy
I
truly is
think.
fascinating.
So yeah, this is definitely subject number 1, aka the real Albedo, with scar on his neck. So yeah, I think there's nothing to worry about. So yeah, about this event, it's a really fun event. So yeah, next I'm going to play the Rise of the Veilflower and then complete the event shop. I already did this one. Yeah, all I have to do next is to claim all of the prizes, and it will be done for the training rewards. And for the trial trophies, I'll do this on next one on my own time. So yeah, the video on YouTube will only cover the story part. For the grinding, I think it would, you know, kind of the same experience for everyone. So yeah, I don't think I need to do a video about the grinding part. So yeah, that is all for the story of Shadows Amidst Snowstorms event, featuring our beloved Knight of Avonia's Chief of Alchemy, Albedo himself.
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
Alchemy truly is fascinating, alright? And yeah, that is the end of the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.